Hello and welcome to Week 7 of Electric Football. As usual,
I'm sorry, your time is up.
but I have one more
I'm
point
sorry,
to make.
your time is up. We have to get to other people.
But it's Week 7 of
Week 7 Electric Football. That's debater Stu Pace.
That's Steve Brown, the interrupter.
That's my kid back there, Luke.
Yep.
Luke.
And let's see, we got Chiefs at Broncos. Stu, you were perfect last time on. Sometimes Stu really impresses me. And last week he impressed me with you got the Bronco game, and there was one other Titans game.
Yes.
Where you were just dead on, and I was just dead wrong. So props to
It
Stu.
happens a lot.
Chiefs at Broncos. I'm going to do this one real quick. I refuse to believe the Chiefs with Tyreek Hill back and making spectacular plays, even though I don't like him. There's no way they lose a third game in a row. I'm taking the Chiefs.
I can't read, folks. So the Chiefs are not performing up to expectations. They're 27th in defense. The Broncos' defense is number 4. But I'm still taking the Chiefs because I don't think that they can possibly go another week without a win.
Luke, scooch over a little bit more, and who do you like, buddy?
I vote the Broncos.
All right.
All
Dolphins at Bills. And congrats, Stu. You almost screwed up and won one.
2 point away.
You had some Fitz magic going there, but luckily they threw a backwards pass. You need to go 2 yards. The one thing you really don't want to do is throw a delayed backward pass.
Well, this is the funny thing. They practiced that play all week, but it was with Rosen at quarterback and Mark Walton at running back. So naturally, we put in Fitzpatrick and Drake, who never practiced a play. And that's what you get. So one week closer to Tua.
Yeah, but that's exactly what you wanted. So,
I wanted the win.
Dolphins at Bills.
Won't be close.
There's no way this one's close. Bills'
Nope.
defense shuts them down completely. Luke, who do you like?
I vote Dolphins for Stu Pace.
There we go. He's a good kid.
My poor boy. I'm taking the Bills.
Jags at Bengals. And the Minshew magic. There's another thing Stu was right about. He was saying that people are going to figure this guy out. It's going to, the couple of games spurt was going to, die out. And that appears to be the case. Jags just made a hell of a trade for Ramsey, who's suddenly and like a 4th or a 5th, right?
Another pick, yeah. I didn't see what.
That's a hell of a. I mean, I know he's a great player when he's not. Oh, I've got the flu. Oh, my wife's pregnant. Oh, my back. Oh, my back. Oh, my arm. Oh, my arm. But that's a pretty good haul for a guy that wasn't going to play for you anymore.
I can't believe a team has given up 2 firsts for Jalen Ramsey. The Rams aren't.
And they got rid of Marcus Peters.
Yeah, that I don't understand. I can understand Houston needing the left tackle and giving us 2 first picks, but this I don't. I mean, that's a lot of moolah for one guy.
It was a lot of scratch, and it might be a addition by subtraction moment for the Jags. Plus, the Bengals are just horrible.
Jags just have to run all day.
Right, I'm not picking Cincinnati to suddenly come back to life after 6 straight losses. So I'm going Jags.
Yeah, I'm going Jags.
And Luke?
I vote Bengals.
Okay. He's just
it's opposite day here in Lukeville.
Vikings at Lions, and Zach Brown decided he was going to talk junk about his former teammate Kirk Cousins and say, he's horrible, we want to make him pass. Cousins comes out of nowhere and starts ripping passes to Diggs and dropping little fades to Thielen in the end zone. He shredded them. After the game, Brown didn't want to talk to the press. They're all like, oh, what happened to that prediction? Then he gets cut Tuesday morning. And he did. He played. He had a tackle for loss and like 4 tackles. This is why you do not talk junk before a game. I'm not saying that's why Kirk Cousins played well, but if you're going to talk it before the game, they show up at your locker after, you better go, you know what? He played great. Hats off to him and go on to next week. He didn't do that. I'm not saying that's why he got cut, but I do think it's funny that happened. Lions played great.
Very aggressive on offense. I love the way they came out the other night, just bombing the ball.
Yeah, flea flick, boom, let's go.
Yep.
And if it weren't for a couple of bad hands to the face calls on Trey Flowers, his hands down here. So I don't know how that becomes hands to the face.
Because I read another player on the other team, I can't remember who because I'm 58 and have no memory, went up to the ref at one point and said, hey, watch for this.
But that's legal. This isn't legal.
Yeah,
but
all of a
that's
sudden
legal.
this is the face mask. I mean, you're killing the game, refs. Absolutely killing the game.
Yeah, so the Lions got robbed. They played a great game against the Packers.
And missed the interference penalty.
Yeah, there you go.
Clearly interference.
The game is becoming more and more confused by all these rule changes instead of, more straightforward. But I like the Vikings. I like the Vikings to be able to run on the Lions pretty much all day with Cook and with Madison. And let me tell you, Madison's averaging like 5.3. He's looking like a hell of a third-round pick. He's ripping off long runs. Got to hold on to the ball. But I like the Vikes in this one.
I'm taking the Vikings, too, for everything you said, which was on the paper that I wrote on.
I read his paper while I was doing it. Luke, Lions or Vikings?
As much as it pains me to say this, Vikings.
All right. I appreciate him saying that. Raiders at the Pack, and I'm really unsure what to make of the Raiders win in London. Those games, one team shows up and one team doesn't, and it's not necessarily the better team that plays well when they do that travel. It throws everything off, and I hate it.
Yeah.
Though it is nice to wake up, have a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, and watch a game.
Is there a London game this week?
I don't think so. I think that was the only two that they were doing.
Okay.
So last year, Raiders were a 4-win team. Pack looked great this year. Whether it's Matt DeFlower that's made them a much better team, I don't know. But it's the running game that's made them a better team with Williams and Jones.
Yeah.
So I like the Pack to be able to run on the Raiders here and win this game. And I am taking, this is a home game I'm taking, but I'm taking a lot of road teams this week. So you might want to ignore me.
Rodgers, I don't think he has a problem with the Raiders like the Bears did in London. I think he easily picks them apart. The Raiders aren't that good. It's just one of those freaky,
they're off
accidents of nature that they were just on fire in London.
Better start, and the Bears didn't travel well.
Packers.
All right. Luke, who do you like, Raiders or the Packers?
Raiders.
All right. He's just picking the opposite. He's going to do great. Rams at Falcons. Falcons finding new and interesting ways to lose to bad teams. I mean, missing special teams kicks late in the game. Rams, have they turned it around with Ramsey? You can't spell Rams without Ramsey.
That's
He's
right.
King Ramsey the Third or
Can't
whatever.
spell stupid without stew. So
There is that too. But has McVay lost it all of a sudden? No, he hasn't lost it. What he's lost is a healthy Todd Gurley. With or without Todd, I like the Rams over the Falcons.
Yeah, the Falcons have lost 3 in a row to this team, and that's all, as far as I went back. It could be more. 3-16, we'll figure that out in a minute. But the Rams have to win this game. This isn't a game that they can give away. This is a winnable game, easily winnable game for them. And I don't think adding Jalen Ramsey makes their defense better. Their defense is better than they have played. I think it all comes around and they beat the Falcons.
Luke?
Rams, Falcons.
Falcons.
There we go. Texans at Colts. And this is the game of the week for me. Deshaun Watson is becoming comfortable in the NFL. It may have taken him a little. I mean, he's played well before, don't get me wrong. But he really looks like he's got it dialed in now. He's making good decisions on when to run, when to stay in the pocket and pass. I love the guy as a Clemson guy, and I think he's a future. If he stays healthy, I swear to God, I think he's a future MVP. They showed the stats between him and what's his name, Mahomes, and they're equivalent. They're almost equal in just about every category. And Watson beat him, last week.
Yeah.
Colts coming off a bye, strong defense, good running game.
Where did this come from?
At home, I mean, this could go either. Well, the defense was showing last year.
Yeah, but they crushed the Chiefs. That was just ridiculous. What they were able to do.
Yeah, well,
couldn't have seen that coming.
And as you pointed out earlier, Chiefs defense has been horrible this year. But I like the Texans in this one.
Yeah, if the Colts display the same aggressiveness they showed in that game, plus with a week off, I don't know that there's anyone injured on their team. So. But it helps. It helps the body rest and get a little stronger. I'm taking the Colts.
By this time in the NFL, you're all dinged up.
Yeah, I'm taking the Colts. I like the way they're playing, and Brissett's got a strong handle on the offense. And they've not only been in games, they've been winning games.
Can't argue with either of those picks, mine or Stu's. Luke?
I vote Texans.
All right. 49ers at Washington.
Wait, who'd you take?
Me, I took the Texans.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got 49ers at Washington. Why don't you do this one?
There's nothing to talk about. This is no contest. The Niners D is devastatingly good, and I can't even see Washington scoring in this game, to be honest with you. I mean, they barely beat a decimated Miami team, and the 49ers, it's not Garoppolo. I know he's there, and it's confident that he's there and playing well. This whole team is playing well beyond expectations, and I don't see any letdown. I am taking the 49ers. It's going to be ugly early.
I'm taking the 49ers too. The Washington has turned into like the over-the-hill Viking gang. You know, if you know what I'm talking about from back in the 70s or
You're not
whatever
that
it
old,
was.
are you?
No, but you've got like Case. I am actually. You got Case Keenum and Adrian Peterson, and evidently they're arguing as Keenum tries to audible out of a call because he was trying to audible out of a handoff to Peterson, and Peterson's like taking his mouthpiece out like,
Yeah.
"Oh hell no!
Yeah.
You are. I am going over 100 yards. I've been in this league too damn long."
I love that face, man.
Oh, I can't stand it though. I mean, I can't stand that. You have to. The quarterback has to be the leader of the team, and it raises the question: what the hell are the Redskins thinking? Like, you got Haskins on the bench. Are you going to keep him on the bench this whole year? I mean,
When
Case
you're this
Keenum,
bad?
Adrian Peterson, Jordan Reed, Ryan Kerrigan, these are not your future. I'm not saying you bench Kerrigan or something stupid like that, but I am saying you get Haskins in there and you get him in live fire so that you don't run into next year with all these older guys retiring and a rookie quarterback that he's a rookie again next year if he doesn't
hasn't
play at
played,
all.
yeah.
So I don't know what you're thinking. You're a horrible team. You're not making the playoffs. The 49ers are going to crush you. At least get him in late in the game. Give him some live reps. Luke, who do you like, 49ers or Washington?
49ers.
Attaboy.
Cards at Giants. Go, Stu.
Why is this game on? This is the only game we're going to have in New York at the time frame that this is on. This is what's wrong with the NFL. This game is not worthy of being the only game on television. We've got two major networks, call it three if you want to throw in NBC based on contracts.
Oh, I thought you were doing PBS.
Yeah. But it's ridiculous that this is the game that we're getting when there's so many good other games in the NFL. It's time to pick and choose. And I will pick and choose the home team here. I don't like the Cardinals. Kyler Murray's exciting so far, but he's not turning me on to the point where I don't think the Giants can lose so easily. I think their defense will do enough to keep him corralled. I am taking the Giants by 0.5 points.
Now, while I agree with Stu's rant in theory, I don't think this is a horrible game because you've got two exciting rookie quarterbacks going against each other, Murray and Jones, and it's exciting to see the development of these guys. You have Saquon Barkley returning to the Giants, which instantaneously makes them a much more fun team to watch.
I'm just saying choices, baby.
No, I mean, I'm with you. Is that a 4 o'clock game?
Yeah.
Who would you, Saints, Bears, Ravens, Seahawks?
Saints, Bears, Ravens, Seahawks?
Yeah,
Well, Ravens would be on NBC, I guess.
Eagles, Cowboys, there's some better games, that's for sure. I think Jones is still, even with Barkley back, I think Jones is missing too many weapons. I do like Kyler Murray being able to, make up plays with his legs and his arm, and he is exciting. And I've picked him a couple times this year and been wrong once and right twice. So I'm going Cardinals.
Okay. Luke, Cardinals or Giants?
Giants.
Chargers, Titans,
boy.
and as I said before, Stu was right about both these teams last week, and I was wrong, so let's let him start out.
Well, this week Tannehill starts for the Titans, and I might have a little experience watching Ryan Tannehill. Not a bad guy. Actually, a great guy, a very middling average quarterback. He is not going to win games for you. However, the Chargers are so decimated that I'm not sure that they're going to field 11 players on each side. I'm still taking the Chargers here. They were beaten up by the Steelers. Rivers, this is a Chargers team that needs to look at the future. I don't think they've got enough going to stick with Rivers next year. I think they got to draft a quarterback high. The Titans were blanked by Denver, though. And the Chargers defense certainly isn't the Broncos in Denver. Denver's the number 4 defense. But I'm still taking the Chargers to win by a Hail Mary.
Let's talk Rivers for a second. Is he a Hall of Fame quarterback?
No.
No, he isn't. I agree with you on that. His stats are good enough, But I mean, he's played with one of the greatest tight ends of all time. He's played with one of the greatest running backs of all
Yep.
time. He's always had weapons around.
Yeah, Tomlinson and
Gates
can go in.
Yeah,
And granted, okay, he was handing off the ball and throwing it to them. I just don't think he's ever done anything worthy of being included. Yeah, I mean, being around long enough gets you the stats.
I mean, and the argument is, what about Eli? Well, Eli lifted his team twice to Super Bowls,
Yep.
and you just have not seen Rivers do that. So, I mean, the stats are lovely, but when I think of Phillip Rivers, I don't think of him as a Hall of Fame quarterback. Please feel free to put your comments in there. Is Rivers a Hall of Fame quarterback?
I will absolutely give him a participation medal.
And it was funny. They were absolutely mocking the Chargers in their own stadium because it was filled with Steeler fans.
Yep.
I mean, the NFL is desperate to have LA teams, but LA isn't desperate to have teams.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame that San Diego, that supported them well, and there was the history, Dan Fouts and Kellen Winslow and Bam. It seems like every 30 years they have a great player. But, I look at that roster and I go, there is a hell of a lot of talent on here. Why are they underperforming? They should be a very explosive offense now with Melvin Gordon back, and they aren't. I don't think it's all about home field, but maybe being on the road to the Titans is a good thing. I'm with you on Tannehill. I would have played Mariota again because, quite frankly, I don't think Tannehill has the upside that Mariota has. I
don't think there's much difference between the two.
Not
guys,
at
to
this
be honest.
point, but when they were playing at their best, I would say Mariota outplayed Tannehill. Now, different cast of
Probably, yeah. I mean, we had
people
nobody.
Right, different cast of talent around them, but and that's another little. If you want to put in some comments, Tannehill or Mariota, who would you go with this week? I'm going Chargers just based on talent. Luke, who do you like, Chargers or the Tennessee Titans? Remember the Titans, Luke.
Chargers.
Come on, man!
All right, Saints at Bears.
Good pick.
Two great Ds collide, but I think the Saints secondary is too good for Mitchell Trubisky.
All right, yeah, Trubisky.
And
Is he playing?
And the Bears.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I'm just saying.
Is Mitchell back? Do you know?
No, I don't believe he is.
Oh, no?
No, his shoulder is still out as far as I know.
Okay.
Well, he's going to crush them Vikings.
But he's here now.
Did you hear that?
Yes,
Here's
I hear
Trubisky.
that. Yes, I am making fun of my kid's jersey more than anything. You got backup quarterbacks. You got great Ds. Lattimore and the Saints secondary really, really impressing me. So I think they pull this game out. And, I'm a Teddy Bridgewater guy, too, being a Viking fan. Plus, the Saints have a good running game. I just think the matchup goes to the Saints. I'm doing road teams.
I think I'm taking the Saints, too. The difference with the Saints is they're beating good teams. They had one loss to Rams, was it? I forget who.
There we go.
They had one loss to a good team, but they're not losing to the bad teams. The Bears lose to bad teams. I have totally lost faith in the defense that I selected in both of my fantasy leagues. They're not living up to my expectations. Bears D, you are terrible, and I hate you right now.
It's bad fantasy
Perform
coaching.
better, but I'm taking the Saints.
You got to motivate them.
Yeah.
Luke, Saints or Bears? I'm assuming you're going to pick the Saints.
Saints or Bears?
Bears.
Oh, Bears.
I'm a Bears fan.
Go Bears.
Yeah, you're going down, Vikings.
The Luke. Ravens at Seahawks. And like you were talking about, you look at the wins that the teams have had and you go, which are more impressive? And to me and Bradley Brewer, it is the Seahawks. They have wins against good teams.
And the Ravens lose.
Ravens have played two good teams and they've lost to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Seahawks defense has the speed and will probably spy on Lamar Jackson since he's running for 200 yards in a game. I like what the Ravens have done this year. I think they're moving in the right direction. I think they've clearly made the right choice by sending Flacco out the door and giving the keys to Jackson. But I don't think they're ready to beat a Seahawks team that has overperformed this year as far as I'm concerned. I'm taking the Seahawks.
Yeah, Steve absolutely hit every note that I had on my paper, so Seahawks.
Ravens.
just to be different. Eagles at Cowboys, and Eagles bad fake kicks aside, they're getting healthy. Their D-line is dangerous. talking about non-impressive wins, the Cowboys have gone up against bad teams and won. They've gone up against good teams and gotten smoked.
Yep.
Jason Garrett is now on the hot seat yet again. A decade, and he's got, like one playoff win? Two?
How has this guy survived?
Yeah.
I just don't understand. What pictures of Jerry Jones does this guy have? The Cowboys are going in the wrong direction right now, and he stands on the sideline like this.
Yeah. Did you see his players not give it? He was like out there for like high fives, and like guys were walking by. I'm like, ain't happening.
I wouldn't want to be with this team this many years and have, Woody from Toy Story being my coach.
So I've got Eagles with the D-line shutting down Zeke, not Zach, excuse me, and forcing Dak. If you do Zeke and Dak, you get Zach.
That said, it's a division game, and I'm taking the Cowboys.
Are you really?
Yeah.
What makes you think so?
It's division game. They're home. I
just that simple.
One of those things. Yeah. I just feel that especially after that loss to the Jets.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the reasons. I mean, going back to that, the Jets, not a good team. They add one piece in Sam Darnold, and all of a sudden they just smoking the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. I'm really not impressed by the Cowboys. Eagles or Cowboys?
Oh, that's a tough one. I want to say Eagles for my cousin Harry, but I also want to do the Cowboys to piss off my dad right here.
It's a fairly accurate assessment.
Eagles.
Let's go Eagles. Pats at Jets.
The Andrew Warren team.
Go ahead, baby. You start.
Hey, thanks for the shout out last week, so we'll return the favor. If you're not picking with Andrew Warren, you're picking with us, and that's stupid in so many circles. There's nothing to talk about here. Although Adam Gase has had the Patriots numbers several times with Miami, the Miami Miracle, a couple other games, I think he's break even on that. This ain't happening this week. This is a different Patriots team. This defense, I've never seen a guy out of position on this team ever this season with the Patriots. And I think, is it Darnold's playing again? I don't know. It's probably his second time seeing them. Was he injured last year too, Darnold, or was that just this year?
I could not go back to that. I'm 53. My memory's not that good.
I'm taking the Tom Brady-led crazy defense of the Patriots, even though it's in New Jersey, not New York, where the Jets play.
Pats at Jets, and the Silver Surfer Sam Darnold came back in and brought the moribund Jets team to life. But you know what? He's going against a coach that reminds me of my prostate. He's squatty. He's enlarged. He's angry. He's unpleasant to look at, but boy, does he get the job done. Bill the Prostate Belichick. He's unleashing the league's stingiest defense, just like my prostate, occasionally unleashes some urine.
Where is this going?
P.S. If Belichick is such a genius, I like the Pats. But if he's so smart, what the hell is he doing running Brady on quarterback sneaks late in the game that they have the Giants
Because he's
beat?
Brilliant, and that's what he does. You can't question that.
Are you trying to break some sort of
How do you
weird
question
quarterback
Bill
sneak
Belichick?
record? I question him because if Brady got a concussion on those plays or sprained a wrist or anything, the team, is devastated. Everybody talks about what a genius he is, but then he keeps guys in on plays that they don't need to be in on, and he risks injury.
And yet, Super Bowls.
Hand the damn ball to James White and just step out of the way. Jesus, you had that game. Luke, who do you like, Pats or Jets?
Pats, and this one goes out to Tim Murray, who's not here for reasons.
Oh, let's see
unknown,
what
but
Tim
I'm
has to say.
I'm
Patriots.
guessing he was
I like
out
the
on a date with his
Patriots.
girlfriend.
And Sam Adams' beard.
his girlfriend.
He's married.
Yeah,
Don't
his
say
girlfriend.
that. He does not have a girlfriend. If Mrs. Murray is
That we know
watching,
of.
he is a very loyal husband. Loyal and loving husband.
Eh.
Subscribe.
Watch us.
Comment.
Luke.
We love you.
See you next week.